did self-discipline for my informative speech, and I'm sorry if my voice kind of cuts out, but I'm feeling crap today. So this next generation is cooked. The survey that we put out says that 94.1% of people voted that there's a decrease in self-discipline happening. So that's just within this classroom alone. So I feel like that's kind of, the results speak for itself. That's not a very good thing, and we need to do our best to better that. So today in my informative speech, I will help you get a better understanding of some facts about self-discipline and also some ways to improve it. So self-discipline is defined as the ability to do what needs doing for as long as it needs to be done and to learn from the results of one's efforts. So that's from Rogus. So this kind of starts at a young age, like really, really young age. Even when you're in the kindergarten classroom, you're a little kid just coming up. Self-discipline is a huge thing that your teachers or your parents can help you kind of form. Whether it's putting your laundry away or doing the dishes every now and then and remembering to do that. That can transfer all the way up to, the highest point in your life, even to the president, where he has to remember to do this or remember to do that. So it's a pretty universal skill, and you'll use it all the way from the age as long as you can start to remember and walk around and move to probably the day you die. So that kind of transfers into school really well. When you think of self-discipline in school, think of your speech. What did you have to do to get ready for this? Did you have to prepare? Did you have to think about it a lot? The answer is probably yes. So that's why self-discipline really relates to school. There's a survey that 66 students participated in a study where they were randomly assigned a 30-minute mental contrasting with implementation intervention or a placebo control writing exercise. Students that did the mental contrasting did 60% better than the people who did the control writing exercise. So that's from Duckworth. So what mental contrasting is basically a fancy way of saying self-discipline and setting goals, because self-discipline kind of encompasses a lot of words. When you think of that, it's kind of like a tree, and what's under it is all these little words that it branches out into. So one of those words is like responsibility, respect, timeliness, all that is really under that one big window. The people that are self-disciplined are usually people that are able to set goals. They're usually able to achieve things that are bigger than most people can. So that's why I included some information about mental contrasting, because that's the idea of setting goals and then being able to buckle down and complete those goals, and use your own self and the resources around you to get to the end goal of those goals that you had envisioned. So I feel like that's a very important thing to do, and you can incorporate that in your life, whether it's really small or it's a really big thing. That's something that you can really take advantage of. So the sky is truly the limit for if you are a self-disciplined person. There's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't do when you put your mind to it and you have a goal in mind. Developing self-discipline often involves controlling your impulses and emotions in order to better yourself. Setting goals to work forward is a great first step to give you focus. But there are other steps that you can take to keep from being derailed along the way. For Olympic gold medalists, like the rest of us, some skills are still often necessary to establish self-discipline. Overcoming fear and difficult circumstances and breaking bad habits. That's from Poole too. So essentially, whether you're just a little kid in kindergarten or you're an Olympic gold medalist in front of the whole world, self-discipline can be used. Kind of like I was talking about earlier, it's universal. It's been shown in studies that a lot of people think that they aren't as important as the people they see on TV. But what a lot of people don't realize is they can be the person on TV. They can do those same things that those people on TV are doing that they think so highly of. My next article thing. Oh, that's pretty good from slides. Alright, so respect, responsibility, and accountability. Those are three words that I believe really branch out from self-discipline. I found an article that talked mainly about how these fit into that category, But when you think of someone who's self-disciplined, they also probably hold these traits as well. Respect being a very important one that I also feel like is decreasing today. And studies have shown external, like surveys not from this class, but from other surveys have shown that many people would also agree with that statement, that the level of respect is just kind of sinking down. Same thing with responsibility. When you think of, did you remember to prepare for your speech? Some people might answer, no. So, I feel like responsibility is kind of going downhill too. And then you end up winging it a lot of the time. Accountability, just kind of doing the right thing, being able to own up for what you did. That's something that I struggle with a lot, and I know a lot of other kids have. Especially, you look at teacher walks in the room, who did that? Nobody raising their hand. So that's also going down as well. So kind of when you're thinking about how you can incorporate this in your life, just think about how you can use either A, the mental contrasting skill, B, a little bit of common sense is involved in this too. What's right, what's wrong. It's really hard to fall into the rabbit hole of choosing the wrong thing. And it's even harder to get out of that rabbit hole and be able to say no, especially once you're already down it. But self-disciplined people are able to do that. So if you think about a time in your life, like, that was a bad decision, I shouldn't have done. Self-discipline will help you not be in that place again. And it's a very worthwhile skill to try and develop. So next time you're around, whether it's a bad crowd of people or you have the opportunity to do a bad thing, try to set a goal and keep in mind that you don't have to do that thing. Before you make that decision, imagine that, the person that you love the most, that's your greatest idol, what would you do if they were standing right next to you? And I'll leave you with those words today.